Yes.
Hi. This is very comfortable for me to be here because it's just mind candy to me, and I want to thank you for calling me here, and thank my wife for inviting me as well. In all my travels and all my thoughts and manifestations from a very young age of knowing that how to get on those rockets and have miracles and incredible things happen in my life, there's been something powerful that's confused me along the way that I'd like to ask Abraham, and that is, quite simply actually, is why people lie, and more often or more so, why do they lie to themselves? Because I'm always on a constant understanding and dealing in business and people of, I use the term pure a lot, because if I understand the universe, when my rocket flies the fastest and the furthest is when I plug into what is pure and honest, not only to me and what I've created, but also what is best for everyone involved. And that usually comes from, and that's what I find the universe to support the most, is when there's a greater value to everyone.
Well, you're setting this question up perfectly, because what you have discovered is that by aligning with who you are, that's where your true power comes from. Mm-hmm. So you aren't willing to jeopardize your alignment or your true power with something that takes you away from it. And so your standard is you want to be straightforward, you want to level with people, you want to always have a mutually beneficial outcome, so that those thoughts hold you in alignment, and being in alignment holds you to your power. But when you think about a lot of people, and there are a lot of people who don't know about alignment, they don't know about hooking up to their true power. In fact, they've been trying to get to that feeling of empowerment through others, through appreciation of others, or through approval of others. So when they looked to their mother for approval, and she gave it to them when they were performing in a way that pleased her, but she didn't give them her approval when they were performing in a way that didn't please her, they began associating getting the approval, which is what you associate as getting into alignment. They're seeking approval from others. People lie to you because they think you'll feel better in the lie than you would feel in the truth. And they want you to feel good when you hold them as their object of attention, because they're counting on you as their source, because they don't know about their true source. Isn't that interesting? No one ever lies to you because for any reason other than they're trying to control your response to them. So next time you're aware that someone is lying to you, and people do it all the time, next time you're aware that someone is lying to you, just take a step back and say to yourself, this person wants my approval. So then say to yourself and to them, to yourself first, and you can decide which of them is ready to hear it. I'm going to give you my appreciation, and I'm going to give you my approval regardless of your behavior, because I'm in alignment with that which is love. So I'm going to choose to love you regardless of your behavior. You don't have to lie to me to get my love and appreciation. But you're rare, you know. They do have to lie to a lot of people, because hardly anybody's tuned in, tapped in, turned on, flowing love all over the place. And they're just looking for love in all the wrong places. That really is all that's going on. They're looking for love in all the wrong places. Jerry and Esther have ordered a new Sprinter van, and it will give them a little more mobility and a little faster speed on some of the runs that they are doing. And they ordered it from a man who has a business that then converts them into really luxurious vehicles. And so they picked out everything, and they had the carpet shipped, and they went through long lists of things, and they've defined and refined and decided this van. And it was to be delivered to them in Texas around Thanksgiving time. And about then, Esther began getting an odd feeling, and she said to Jerry, I don't think this van is coming. So she called the man and asked about the van, and he told her a lie, and she felt it. She could feel that it was a lie. And then she asked him another question, and he lied again, and she could feel that it was a lie. And then she thought, oh man, how big is this lie? Does he even have the van? He has our money. Did he even buy the van that we sent him the money to buy? So she began probing a little bit, and the more Esther probed, the more efficient he became at lying. But she could feel that he was lying. She could feel that he was lying. And so she said to Jerry, he's lying. I'm just going to blow it all up. I'm just going to let him know that I know, and then at least we'll know where we're at, because we're not getting anywhere this way, because he's lying. And his lies got really involved. The poor man was working very hard. So
I met him, I think.
Esther just confronted him and said, you've been lying to us, and we know that you're lying to us. And then Esther said something that made the weight of the world lift off of him. Because Esther realized from the questions and from the probing and from her investigation that she launched around it, she realized that he was doing like a lot of people do. He took their money to finish the last job, and now he's got to get another job to finish their job, and he was just behind. He was not immoral. He was not going to do the van. He was not scamming them. He was just disorganized and a little behind the financial 8 ball. And so Esther said to him something that, in his words, made the weight of the world lift off of him. She said, well, now where are we at? Now where are we? So now where are we? So now where are we? And then Esther said, and this is the part that he liked the most, she said, I don't blame you for lying to me, because if you had told me what your financial situation was, I would not have done business with you. And they wouldn't have. If they had known where he was financially, they would have not entered into a partnership with him. They would not have. But that doesn't mean that they've entered into the wrong partnership. In other words, this man will do the best job of customizing this van of anybody that they have access to. He was in their vortex because he does the work they're looking for. He just isn't in the financial position that he needed to be in, you see. And so Esther wants him to understand that we could have come out of this in a lot easier way, but it doesn't matter. Let's just start over. And Esther said, so it is my vow to you, I'm not ever going to bring this up. I'm not going to give you a hard time. I'm not going to bring up that you lied to us. I'm not going to give you a hard time about it. I'm just going to continue to hold the thought of the most beautiful van that has ever been converted coming from you to us. And the man tearfully said, I feel like the weight of the world has been lifted off of me. And then Esther said, I think everybody can sort of tell when you're lying or when you're being lied to. And Esther said, and I think everybody to some extent lies a little bit, because everybody's trying to please somebody somewhere. But when what you know and what you say don't jive, red flags go up. And that's crippling your business. If you'll just be honest with people, if you'll just tell people where it's at, a lot of us would just jump on board and support you as you're coming through this. But when you tell a little lie, we can feel the lie and we don't know how big it is. And we think that's what bothers you with most. It's a deception. But when someone lies to you, you know who they're really deceiving most of all? Themselves, because they're holding themselves away from who they are. And that's what makes them ineffective. It's what makes them inefficient. It's what makes things not go well for them. If you saw someone in the street bleeding, we know that you would do everything you could to help them. But when somebody lies to you, you don't feel like resuscitating them, and yet they need it in the same way. Correct. You see.
I think that's what creates the question, is because I read it instantly as a lie, and I wonder why it's unnecessary. Most lies are completely unnecessary, and so I wonder why they're sort of shooting themselves in the
It's
foot.
because they're lost. They've lost their guidance. They're looking for love in all the wrong places. They are trying to get approval now and now and now and now and now. And so they're telling you what they think you want to hear instead of what's really going on, you see. So we don't think the answer is calling everyone on their lies. Esther considered just having a card printed up that says, I'm psychic, and if you lie, I'll know it, so don't.
I tried that.
But it just makes all your relationships really weird. So it would be better to print up a card that says, you're probably going to lie to me, because most everybody does in our quest for creating the perfect world. I just want you to know I love you anyway. That would be a much better card. I just want you to know that I'm going to love you even when you lie to me. I'm going to love you because I don't think you're lying to me to hurt me. I think you're lying to me because you think it's going to help me. But it's not helping me and it's not helping you. So just want you to know. Could be a big card. Maybe a fold-out brochure.
Thank you. That's exactly why the question. Thank you very much.
Yes.